we'll just get started then. Basically, we're going to open the meeting. Again, we're still in Zoom protocol. We're having the remote meeting for obvious reasons. So basically, we'll get right into things. Do you want to do a roll call vote first, or open up with just attendance?
Be good for the record.
Yeah, for the record, please, Amanda.
Sure. Hold on. Let me get my screen. Michael Beldotti.
Here.
Michael Aronson.
Sorry, here.
Bobby Bowker.
Here.
David Chow, I don't think is here. Alberto Fernandez.
Here.
Jeff Gasparo.
Present.
Seth Roy.
Here.
And Eric Talbot.
Here.
If David does not show up, then you will be voting tonight.
Okay.
We also have Planning Director Jaime Martinez and Jamie Kane, Board Secretary. And we have Joe Tremelli from Kellard Sessions and a new addition from the Kellard Sessions team, Esteban Garcia. And me, Village Land Use Attorney Amanda Brosey.
Great. Thank you, Meta. So we'll go right into the agenda. Continuing business for the board, Planning Board 8-20, 177 Croton Avenue.
I will jump in here and say that the architect, Bill Simafrides, did just send me some updated plans just a little while ago. I was having some compatibility issues with my computer, so I wasn't able to get them up on the agenda, but I did send them to Jaime if he wants to share, if we need them.
Yeah.
I think the big issue here was just getting the approval earlier in the month, which I see they've gotten. And I think the only other thing we talked about last Friday at our pre-app meeting was, this access agreement, which I guess Amanda was waiting on.
I haven't received that yet, but you can make it a condition of your approval that they submit that, and I'll make sure to include in the resolution that be submitted prior to a building permit being issued.
Good.
Amanda, that's access and utility, correct?
Yep, access and utilities.
Second. All right. You can't see me, can you? Hold on a second. Same as system, microphone, speaker switch. I don't understand this. Okay.
So essentially tonight for the board, we're just going to basically vote on conditional use approval. And I believe other than those few issues that we talked about, all the other conditions have been met for the most part.
Can I be heard, or I know I can't see myself, but can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
And let me see, maybe if I click this button. All right, just to let you know that we did get approval from the zoning board. And so now we're back here tonight for your approval. Yeah, the engineer did submit a couple of drawings to answer some of the comments that we had. I didn't really even review it because it got here late afternoon. The only one that I guess we just discussed is that easement for the utility use, which will be right down there where the stormwater is coming from 175, sort of like a triangular shaped space, up a little and to the left. I think it's hatched in his drawings too, but we're going to get the surveyor to update it as well. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I was.
Instead of having to redo all his drainage, we'll just do an easement on that triangular shaped space right there. And he did relocate. I think the water line I see is also relocated from the right to the driveway side.
Does the applicant own the adjoining property that's being affected with the easement?
Say that again?
Does the applicant own the adjoining property to this?
Yes, the same applicant owns it, both of them.
Okay, does anybody from the board have any questions regarding the application?
And Mike and the board, did this receive approval back in 2018 also? Some form, like how far along the process did they get in 2018?
It was approved, planning and zoning was approved.
Right, the application, I guess the approval had lapsed, right? I mean, there was a site plan approval which lapsed after, I guess, a year.
I have a quick question here. So you have this storm drain coming from the neighbor's property. This is an existing storm drain?
No, there's no drainage for the existing driveway and parking area right now.
So you're proposing to take the existing storm drain and, or you're proposing to take the runoff from the property and put it into the municipal drains?
No, there's dry wells down there.
Okay, because it looks like,
It all goes to the infiltration system first, Jaime.
so this dry well is where? In the,
That's the large bank of units you see in front of the building.
It goes into the dry wells first, and I guess the runoff goes into
Joe, you're talking about that checkerboard pattern just in from the street, right?
right.
Yeah, if you could scroll up a little bit.
It's like 12 of them even, and I thought that was overkill, but I guess.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
So that box right there, Jaime, in front of the proposed building,
Yeah,
you just passed it.
here.
Nope, in front of the proposed building on the street side.
Here, yeah.
Right, so the roof drains from the new building, all of the new driveway surface runoff goes into that system first. And then the overflow goes out to the street in the catch basin.
All right. That's it. Sorry.
Okay.
Just to clarify on the previous approval versus what's being considered now, site plan approval was granted previously. That's slightly different than a conditional use permit under the code, and the conditional use, analysis is just slightly different. So.
Okay. But they've met all the thresholds, I guess, that for the most part that we want to see with the conditional use, I think. Is that a fair character?
That's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. No. We'll know shortly.
Yeah.
Amanda, in the resolution back in 2018, basically the comments you see in our 2020 memo are carry over from the last approval. So I don't know if those have made it into the resolution, by reference or otherwise. I know it seems like they've addressed some of them with this recent revision we haven't seen. But things like DOT permit approval, right? Street opening permits from the DPW.
Yeah.
I assume that'll all make its way into the resolution.
That will be carried into the new resolution. Yep.
Anybody?
So do you want to?
So open this up, look for any public comment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Amanda, what was that?
I just wanted to know if Joe wanted to kind of belts and suspender it and look back at the old conditions and make sure your condition is, any motion you make tonight has those same conditions attached, or probably a good idea.
Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah, whatever we approved back in 2018 would be tied in with what, if there's any new information or requests that we want from an engineering standpoint. Yeah, keep it tied together, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I don't think I saw.
I know that we're not reviewing BAR here, but I do see in the previous resolution, there was a condition that the applicant contact the planning department to schedule a review of the color and material for certain parts of the building.
Yeah.
And what's that?
We did. We submitted the siding and the brick and all that stuff was done back then.
Okay, great.
Okay. Jaime, anybody from the public care to speak to this, or you have anybody on queued up at all, or?
I'll check my email, and I don't think so. Nope.
Okay.
Amanda, just to go back to your question, the 2018 resolution,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any reference to our memo or any comments we had.
Okay.
Joe, what's the
I
date,
missed it.
2018?
So maybe it's just just adding a reference to our latest memo.
Okay. Your latest memo. Okay. I can do that. And the board can do that.
All right, so I'd call for a motion granting conditional use approval with some of these conditions that we just talked about, tying in the 2018 engineering review with whatever's being requested right now from Kellard. We'd also want that access easement agreement submitted, and that would be a condition of the approval. Are we missing anything else, guys?
Just that it's an access and utilities easement. And if there happen to be any open conditions on that 2018 approval that would apply here, I don't think there are, but I'll incorporate those in this resolution as well.
Okay, great. All right, so can I have a motion?
This is Jeff. I'll make the motion.
Okay, and a second?
Bobby Bowker, I'll second.
Okay, and Amanda, if you do a roll call, please.
Or Mike Beldotti,
Aye.
Michael Aronson,
Aye.
Bobby Bowker,
Aye.
Alvaro Fernandez,
Aye.
Jeff Gasparo,
Aye.
Seth Roy,
Aye.
and Eric Talbot.
Aye.
All right, the motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, we're gonna go into BAR 10-20, that's 68 Broadway. That's a holdover from last month.
All right. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Take care.
Jaime, do we have anybody here on behalf of the applicant?
Got Peter Chernoff. And we have JB Hernandez.
Oh, good, okay. I think the only kind of ask we had last Friday was clarification on the average height.
Yeah.
I think that otherwise.
Hi.
Hi.
I just got kicked out. Okay, JB's here too.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, guys. So you're,
We submitted the changes that the board have requested from last month. We added the wood railing on the top. We showed the stairs, the fire escape in the front. Also, at request of the board, we also added a dimension to the for the maximum height to show is 33 feet 8 inches, so it complies with the allowable height of the building. And I believe those were the basic changes that the board was some more information.
We also just showed you, we showed you color. I think there was an issue with the railings where it looked like the spacing was maybe a little bit wide. That was addressed. I think that's all of it.
Yeah.
all right, anybody on the board care to speak to this application?
Could we just see I don't know if I saw the updated plans. I'm not sure I had a chance to see what was submitted. Could we just take a quick look at those?
Yeah, they just came in yesterday, so I will share them now.
Guys, the spiral staircase is metal, right? There's not going to be any wood elements to that, right?
Right, that's metal.
Yeah, I don't think
What page is
think-
it on?
wood spiral staircase exterior application.
What's the transition material going to be from the spiral staircase to the wooden deck? It's just going to be a hard and fast transition wood to metal? Like, what are you doing there?
Yes, wood to metal. There's not, it's a A7, A6, and A5. I believe A6 shows the front elevation. A7 shows the other elevations. We have the colors there.
And remind us again, guys, do you really see any of this from the street? I mean, it looks like it's mostly happening in the rear of the structure.
No, I mean, even the house itself is tucked away quite a bit from the street. If you're driving by, it's hard to even see the house, period. But the deck itself is, yes, it's on the rear of the structure.
Okay.
But if you see what the elevation looks like, it's, it looks like it's along the lines of what sometimes is called a widow's walk, I think it's called. You see them on the shoreline sometimes. It's consistent with the architecture. If you see, we did it with we're doing it with classic wooden spindles. Same ones that we redid the porch with at 75 Broadway.
And the changes that we have, that you see here, that we submitted yesterday, was that we have submitted the drawings priorly, but then we should add the drawing yesterday showing the 33'8" height that we were missing before.
Mhm.
So you showed 33.33,
33 inches.
33.8 feet, or 33 feet 8 inches in the front. So the average is from one side to the other, or from the highest point to the lowest point, which would be in the back.
That is to the average. And
The
we
average
don't have, and also, I mean, I'm showing it to the top. I'm not sure, I think that we measure that the railing will be something that is not the highest point of the building, that's usually to the rooftop. But I'm showing the height to the top of the railing.
So I would ask the engineers to weigh in on if that is an accurate approach to measuring this, because I don't have any idea.
Well, usually what you do is one is you find the average. In this case, I know we have the exposed in the back, but the three sides are not exposed. And also, in part of the code, I think one of the exceptions, you measure the height of the roof to the top of the roof, not to, like cupolas or chimneys are exceptions to the height. In this case, I show the height to the top of the railing anyway to demonstrate that even measuring to the top of the railing, we're still within the 35 feet.
Okay. So it's 33 feet 8 inches to the top of the railing, which is the highest point of the structure. So it's not going to be.
Right.
It's 33 feet 8 inches from the front of the structure, but not from the back of the structure. From the back of the structure, it'd be much higher. It'd be about 10 feet at least higher than that. So the average has to be an average of something. So I'm asking Joe Tremelli. Joe, can you weigh in on how that average is supposed to be calculated?
Yeah, JB, you broke up a little bit in the beginning. Did you review this with Joe?
I'm losing you. Why is the back of the structure 10 feet taller than the front of the structure?
Because there's a story on the back that's not on the front.
No, we're completing the existing story. There already is an existing.
The reason I'm asking the question, the only reason this question matters is because you're adding height. And so
No, but
chimneys don't
we're
count.
not adding height. There's a mansard roof, and we're completing that portion. It actually doesn't currently exist on the rear portion of the building, so we're just finishing it out. We're not actually adding height at all.
The question that came up in the meeting when we talked about it last was whether or not the railing counts as adding height.
The railing does not, as I understand in the code, the railing does not count. It will be railing, chimneys, cupolas do not count as part of the height.
JB, do you have that determination from the building department?
No.
Yeah,
No.
unfortunately, feel like this is a building department
So,
issue because it all relates to definitions in the code.
right, that's a threshold issue that's got to be resolved before this goes any further, I
Yeah,
think.
so the only reason this matters is because if you don't have it, you'll have to get a variance for the extra height. If you were not adding the,
Okay,
if you're
so
not
then,
adding that, it wouldn't matter at all, but
okay, so then that's an issue we can take with the building department. It's not an ARB. I mean, I don't think it will affect the ARB decision. We will talk to Joe Agostinelli about the definition, our interpretation of definition. And then if that becomes an issue, I guess there are two things we have to go for a variance.
So
We need it.
for clarification, this past Friday, Joe Agostinelli wasn't on the call, but I believe the previous month when we had this, Joe was on the call. I don't think the issue came up. I mean, I wouldn't, and this is just me speaking, I wouldn't have a problem with us approving something here subject to Joe, JB, just making sure that from a code standpoint interpretation, it's okay. I mean, historically, we haven't had an engineer, Joe Tremelli hasn't had to really chime in on BAR applications unless, there's some big expansion and, drainage and other things come up. But essentially here, it's, it's a minor, alteration to the structure. So
I don't think I would advise you to move forward with BAR without first determining whether or not this needs a variance. Or without letting Joe first determine whether or not Joe Agostinelli.
JB could find the code that said the railings and cupolas and chimneys aren't included. I think we could decide on it, right?
I'm looking right at the definitions and it's more nuanced than that. It's height of a structure or building. And there's also a definition of grade plane that comes into play. And it really all depends on how Joe Agostinelli interprets these terms in relation to the railing.
Well, again,
But I don't see how, I mean, that would not affect, this is ARB decision.
That's from
I'm sorry.
the average grade.
Sorry, people were talking over each other.
Yeah, one at a time, guys.
Okay, what I'm saying is that if this is I'm failing to see if this is an ARB application. If this is an issue with CBA, then we have to go to the CBA. That will not have an effect on this board decision on how the appearance of the building. Then if we don't get a variance, then we don't have an ARB application. So I'm trying to figure out how is that.
all right, so I have some good news. If perhaps we might be able to get some sort of a resolution. I just spoke to Joe Agostinelli, and nice thing about Zoom is you can show up to the meeting in about 2 minutes. So if you want, we can wait for Joe Agostinelli. We can move on to the next application and come back to this one, so that if there is the possibility of ending this discussion today, Joe can have a chance to take a look at this and determine whether he can weigh in tonight or not.
Sure.
Would that be amenable to all groups?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that okay for the applicant?
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Calling Joe Agostinelli, or he's on this call someplace?
No, he's about to log on to the Zoom and he can take a look at the drawings right here,
Okay.
like the rest of us.
All right, guys, so just take a 5-minute pause on that. We're going to jump ahead to BAR 12-20, 158 Revolutionary Road. Do we have anybody here for 158 Revolutionary Road?
We do.
So applicant is seeking BR approval in order.
I'm here. Can you hear me? You can? Oh, okay. I think Dave Barbute's on the call too. You swear you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, guys.
Hi.
And your name, ma'am?
Ellen, Kara, Geiger. Where is Dave? He was just here. Dave, are you there? Okay, well, I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Am I here?
We're all here.
Hi. All right. Good evening, members. Present to Miss Kira. I will be taking this project over. I was not the original architect on the job, but I'm here tonight to assist her in getting ARB approval. So with your permission, I'd like to just explain briefly the project, and feel free to ask any questions you may have. So Ms. Kira proposes to do an addition to the side of her house. It's roughly 432 square foot footprint. It's 27 by 16. On the first floor, it's basically a mud room with a sunroom to the rear, which oversees the river off her existing family room. The second floor is a walk-in closet and a master bath addition to our master bedroom. In the basement, there is a family room and some storage areas. The present, as I said, it's a 432 square foot footprint, which basically will be constructed over an existing patio at the southern portion of the property. Basically, the exterior finish materials are going to match the existing house. The siding is existing hardy plank. The color is evening blue. The trim is white AZAC. The roof is a charcoal architectural shingle, and the windows are a white Anderson 4000 series. I did a quick last minute, just a quick color rendition of what the existing house looks like, and the massing of the proposed addition being added to the house at the southern end. If there are any questions, I'd be more than happy to address the comments.
Dave, you basically said you're matching all the existing colors. Is that, I think, what's being represented on the plans here?
Yes.
We have a
Okay.
cat that joined the meeting.
Yes, the finishes will match the existing. That's
Okay.
correct.
All right, so I'll open it up to the board if anybody cares to speak to the application.
It would just be helpful for me to see the existing elevation, or if there's a picture of the house and then the plans again and showing what the addition is.
Right, so I believe the cover sheet basically shows the front elevation, the south and south, north, and rear. From the street, the house is set down a little lower from the road. So from the street, it's very difficult to see. But I think in the package, the cover sheet, as I mentioned, does have some photographs of the house.
Side that it's going on. This is the actual photo of the house, and that's where it's going. Can you see it?
Give me a second, I can pull up the actual photo.
Okay, thanks, Jamie. Timing. Yeah, that's what I was trying to show you.
Yeah, I think from our meeting on Friday, there were really no issues. We just wanted clarification on the colors, and I think Dave's delivering here a colored elevation, which helps to kind of give us a better feel for what proposed work is being done will look like when completed.
Yeah, I have a question for Dave or the applicant. From the side yard where you're reducing the setback from 32 feet to 18 feet where you're building the structure, how close is the neighbor's house? Do you have any idea, like 20?
No, it's about 100 feet, at least 120 feet.
Okay, so it's not close to where their side yard starts.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think there's an
there's
easement.
site or anything.
There's an easement on the left side there. I think it's like 10 or 20 feet.
Yeah, 10, I think.
And they did obtain a variance from the zoning board already for side yard.
And you guys are actually digging down and digging out a new basement too, right? There's nothing currently there that's just decking. Awesome. Okay.
I'll let you know how awesome it is when it's finished.
That's gonna be fun.
Anybody else on the board care to speak to this? Jaime, is there anybody here from the public that wants to speak to this application?
Nope.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. That said, I would call for a motion to approve based on what's been submitted.
Michael Aronson, motion to approve.
Can I have a second, please?
Seth Roy, second.
Okay. All in favor, and Amanda will do a roll call.
Michael Beldotti,
Aye.
Michael Aronson,
Aye.
Bobby Bowker,
Aye.
Alberto Fernandez,
Aye.
Jeff Gasparo,
Aye.
Seth Roy,
Aye.
and Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
You too. Enjoy your turkey day.
Thank you.
You too.
Take care. Thank you again. Bye.
Okay, so let's circle back to 68 Broadway. I don't know if Joe Agostinelli is on yet, or?
His camera, he's got to turn his camera on, but he's part of the panelist crew now.
Okay.
Hi, Joe.
How are you?
Good.
Hello.
So, Joe, there's an issue here with 68 Broadway about the height of the building and then the new proposed decking and railing on top of it. And they provided on their plans a height in the front of 33.8, but due to, you know, the definitions in the code of height of a structure and grade plane, I know it's up to you to determine whether or not this new addition on top actually complies with the maximum height for the zone. So I wanted to have you weigh in, and Jaime too, and, you know, the board, to see what you think on this.
Well, I think it's supposed to be the median height. So he should have given you a height in the front, in the back, and then you're supposed to take like a median height. So I don't know, did he provide both dimensions of height? Because I know that property has a pretty significant slope from the front all the way to the rear yard.
Does the median height have to include the addition of the new railing? Because I think he's not adding any additional height. He's just installing a railing. Is that correct?
No, I think if the language on it is the median height of the building, I'm not so sure if it's including, like, if you have guardrails.
Yeah, he's fastening on a guardrail that's bumping up the height.
That's your determination, Joe. So it's really up to you.
I mean, I would say it's really just the structure itself. I don't think that the guardrail would play into the height. You know, that would be similar as, you know, if you went to the medium height of the building, and then you have projections that come above the roof line, which can be like, you know, venting pipes, chimneys. I don't think that plays into the overall height of the building. So if you put a guardrail on it, it's kind of just you know, it's an extension, you know, similar to doing any other. If somebody put a satellite on their roof, you wouldn't take that into height.
It's not a permanent part of the fixture. It can be removed if you want it to be.
It could be
Also, yeah, I mean, the code calls for for high exception. It talks about bell towers, steeples, rooftop bulkheads, elevators, penthouse, water towers, fire towers, hose towers, cooling towers, and air conditioning units. And when you have all the stuff, you're going to have a railing by code definition, because you need to if you have those items, you need protection for that. So I do think that the railing should not be part of the height.
And just, JB, just remind us, this is limited to the one apartment, and the only way they can access this roof is through that apartment, correct?
Right.
Okay. Yes, on both of those, right? That it's only for the one apartment,
Yes.
only accessible through that apartment.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, and I do believe that the code 270-27 talks about height deception, and the fact that, I mean, I will say that bulkheads, elevator penthouses, water towers, bell towers, and the steeples, those are much more substantial than a railing and a rooftop.
Okay.
All right, so Joe, I just want to clarify this, make sure we're 100%, because your determination will decide whether or not they can move forward with this tonight or whether they need to go back for an area variance.
Yeah, I would not.
I want to clarify that because we know that the railing, you're saying the railing does not count.
The railing does not count the way I interpreted into the overall height.
The extension of the roof line out for the addition back here also, you would not deem it to increase the overall height, which would not be a variance, would not require variance, because even though it is.
What's the overall height of the roof structure?
We only have the height of one side, it's 33 feet 8 inches. And the maximum height in the district is 35 feet, correct?
And the railing is 42 inches.
Without the railing, I'm saying without the railing, if we just drew the new height line from
You're
here.
gonna, the inches.
Huh?
So can you hear me? Or?
No, well, we couldn't hear you.
No.
Completely.
I'm sorry, the rooftop, to the top of the railing is 33.8, and we put in a 3-foot 6-inch railing, so it'd be 30 feet 2 inches to the
Yeah, JB, we're not talking about the railing.
roof.
I want to clarify here. We're not talking about the railing. We're talking about the average height.
Yep. JB,
so-
you're adding a new room, you're finishing the roof line, so you're adding more width, you're not adding more height.
Yeah.
which
So
is-
the height from this side to here versus, right, the highest point would be theoretically from the ground is from this point, the new roof line that you've created. Forget the railing.
I'm not seeing your screen. Could you
You're
share
not
that?
sharing.
Oh my gosh. No wonder none of this makes any sense. All right. So the old roof line ended here, the maximum height being the height here to here versus the average versus this side here, right? The average of those two, that's the average height, right? The new average height would be from here to here.
Okay, to assure you that the top of the distance of the rear, the maximum distance is 35 feet 10 inches, and that's not even, that's giving you the highest point, and that's not. So once we do the average, I'm well below the 35 feet to the top of the roof.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I think we've covered this pretty well. I'm comfortable with Joe Agostinelli's explanation or his take on it. So just speaking for myself, I'm fine with it. Again, if any other board members, have any concerns or want to avoid.
I'm fine with it too as a real estate professional. I don't see any issues with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
going by the height of the railing, it's not affixed to it's a fixture. You can remove it. It's not fixed. I'm fine with it.
Okay. Anybody else on the board? Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion. Okay, that said,
Here, do you have to ask for anyone from the public here?
did we do public or? I don't think there was any. Right?
I'm sorry. I didn't have written down that you asked for anyone from the public, so maybe just double check.
Okay, so again, if there's anybody here for the public to speak to 68 Broadway, Jaime, let us know.
There's no one here from the public.
Okay. All right, that said, call for a motion to approve the application as submitted.
Bobby Bowker making a motion to approve application as submitted.
Great, could I have a second, please?
This is Jeff. I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, and Amanda, could you do a roll call, please?
Sure. Mike Beldotti,
Yes?
Michael Aronson,
Aye.
Bobby Bowker,
Aye.
Alberto Fernandez,
Aye.
Jeff Gasparo,
Aye.
Seth Roy,
Aye.
and Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Joe Agostino, thanks for jumping on the call.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Everyone, good night.
Thank you.
Additional business to the board, approval of minutes, which we don't vote on. New business, old business, we have anything else to go over? Or?
I do appreciate you guys taking a minute to consider that issue. You know, just in case there had been one, it was good to be thorough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that the thing is, you don't want to get into a situation where it's approved and then after the fact they come back and the applicant finds out that, oh, they need a variance too. That's really, you want to avoid that kind of thing. So,
Okay. All right. I think Joe wanted to introduce Esteban, the new Brian Hillenbrand has, I guess, moved on, but we're lucky to have, I guess, Joe here tonight, and also, I guess, Esteban, if you want to introduce us, because Esteban, I guess, will be our new main contact at Kellard.
Yep, he'll be your new and improved Brian. Welcome to have him. You know, we're excited to have him with us. And I'm sure he's going to do right by all of you. I'll let Esteban introduce himself, tell you a little bit about himself. And as always, you know, I'm always here for your, you want to gripe, you want to call, you want to shoot me an email. You know, I'm very accessible, but you're in good hands.
Great.
Well, just to introduce myself, my name is Esteban Garcia. I've been at Keller Sessions about 2 months now. Started back in late September. Been civil engineer for about 10 years now. Been in the construction industry, then did some work in Connecticut with a small site civil engineering firm, primarily in Greenwich and Stanford. Then moved on to a bigger company doing big highway infrastructure projects, and then came to Keller Sessions just slightly over 2 months ago. So happy to join you guys and moving forward and being an integral part of Ward in the village of Ossining.
Great. Well, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for introducing.
Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Just motion to adjourn.
Michael Aronson, motion to adjourn.
All right, get a second.
This is Jeff. I'll second.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Congratulations, by the way, on your race, your judge race.
Yes.
I'm sure all the votes were counted.
oh, no.
I'm not sure, actually.
And we'll leave it at that. All in favor?
Aye.
You do roll. Are we just gonna? You want me to do a roll call?
Why not? Sure. What the
Oh,
heck?
okay. Mike Baldati,
Yes.
Michael Aronson,
Aye.
Bobby Bowker,
Aye.
Alberto Fernandez,
Aye.
Jeff Gasparo,
Aye.
Seth Roy,
Aye.
and Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving, Jeff.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.